Right, Malcolm, thanks for jumping on and chatting with us. For you guys who are listening in, Malcolm is one of our senior members on the coaching program. He's recently reached a milestone point in life, entering retirement, and Malcolm's been working with us for the past year on losing weight, getting stronger, healthier, transforming his health and habits. So, congratulations, Malcolm, making it this far and doing such a good job. I'm going to put it over to you and ask you some questions about that. So, can you take us back to before we got started, before you reached out and got in touch with me? What were the reasons that you wanted to make some changes?
The main reason at the time, Dean, when I contacted you, was my retirement was coming up, which was just over a year ago, and I decided at that point that I needed to get myself in some sort of order. And that order I thought would be to get fitter, leaner, and lose some weight because I was touching the 16 stone at that point. Um, and with retirement coming up, I just thought, well, I wanted, and also to get myself into a program where when I retired, I could then maybe continue with that to give me an interest as well, in during my retirement. And that was the whole idea of starting the program. Was exactly as I've just said. That was the idea of it, to lose weight and to get trim and to be fit in my old age, if you like. Yeah, rather than putting on the pounds as I get older, taking them off would have been the way I wanted to do it.
Absolutely. And did you have any apprehensions about working with a coach or specifically what you'd seen from my program, and more specifically, working with someone remotely, someone that's not going to be there in person? Was there any concerns about that?
Well, as I said before, I've never done any sort of training before whatsoever. The only thing I'd ever done was ride a bike, and that was the only thing I used to do to keep myself fit, and nothing else. That was the only thing I did, which I still do. I still ride the bike, and then my son, my older son James, he met you on a climb on was it
Kilimanjaro?
Kilimanjaro,
Yeah.
and I was speaking to James about my thoughts about trying to do something to lose weight and to get fit, and he said to me, well, he said, why don't you try Dean? I met Dean on the climb, and he said, from what the discussions he had with you, he said to me, Dad, I think that would suit you. So he said, why don't you contact Dean and see how you get on there? So that is what I did. And I find the remoteness of having a online trainer. I don't want to sort of praise you up too much, if you like, but I found that you've been really, really good, and it's been quite inspiring for me at times, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it in the year that I've been doing it, and and you've kept me motivated as well in that time to continue, and that's why I'm still here. And yes, and you do definitely put the effort in to keep everyone. If you like, motivated to continue with it. And I'm sure that all the guys that are on the program feel the same way as I do. I would imagine that's why they're still there doing it.
Awesome. That's brilliant to hear, mate. And what have been some of the parts of the program that you've really enjoyed? What have been the best bits for you?
Um, the motivational part really has been best for me to something to aim for, something to achieve each time, and each day I know that I've got to do that, and it gives you something. I wouldn't say to look forward to. It's not something to look forward to every day, because can be quite tough at times with the workouts and the active recoveries. But it gives you something to aim for, something to achieve, and something to improve on with each of the things in the workouts. You know that when you're doing them, that when you start doing them, first of all, you might find they're a little bit difficult, but again, you put the effort in and keep trying, and it does after time improve, and you feel that's an achievement then, that once you've got better at an item within the workout. Yeah.
Yeah, and moving on from that, what have been some of the physical results that you've seen, and what are the bigger impacts of that on your life?
Well, the physical results have been, well, as I say, I was 16 stone. I went down to 14.7. I think I got down to 14.7. I put a little bit on again because I've been on holiday, but as I've just retired, I went on a retirement sort of meal with the guys I work with. There was 8 of us went out last 2 weeks ago tomorrow. Um, and some of the guys I've not seen for a couple of years actually, and they were quite amazed actually and said to me, "Blimey, that new job really suits you," like jokingly about the retirement. And they said about, you look really fit. Whatever you're doing, you best keep doing it. Because it's really working, which was really really good to hear. And and during the year, I've had that comment after after doing it for 6 months. I actually bumped into someone I hadn't seen for a long time, and that comment was made then as well. That, blimey, what have you been doing? Because it certainly made a change. And so, yeah, that's one. And obviously anyone would like to hear that when people make them sort of comments and they say, "Look, blimey, you're looking really well," and that it's obviously good for your health as well. That was the other reason for doing it, to try and improve my health and make sure that perhaps I'll live a little bit longer than maybe I would have done if I hadn't have done it. If I'd have kept piling on the pounds, and then my life would have been shorter. So the idea is to try and enjoy my retirement and yeah, get a good few years more than perhaps I would have done if I'd have gone the other way and kept piling on the pounds. Yeah,
Great stuff. Yeah, it's great to hear, mate. All the hard work pays off, and
yeah,
I guess the consistent compounding effect of all the small habits that you built over the past 12 months goes a long way. Small hinges swing big doors and all that.
yeah, yeah. Very good. Yeah, good saying. Yeah,
So there'll be some people watching this who are potentially in a similar spot. I would guess a lot of the guys that follow my stuff probably a lot younger, but they are equally want to make a change and on the fence about signing up to a program, working with a coach, whether it's mine or someone else. What would your advice be to them?
well, my advice would be to definitely do it without question. It's that's my advice. Well, don't put it off. Don't keep putting it off. Do it. It might not be that easy when you start doing it, but you need to. One of Dean's sayings at the start was, make sure you make the time, and that's what you got to do. You've got to make the time. You can find the time, whatever way you do it. You can find the time. I mean, when I was at work, I used to sometimes, as I said earlier on to Dean, sometimes be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to maybe to get the active recovery in, get the workout done. Because my preference is to do them in the morning rather than leave them to later on in the day, because things get in the way later on in the day. If you do them early in the morning, you can get them in before other things start happening during the course of your day. So my advice would be to definitely to start, and then stick with it. Don't give up early. You need to stick with it for a little while, because when I first started, I did find it very difficult at first, and I was a little bit, oh, am I going to be able to continue with this? But I did continue with it, and I'm glad I did. So that's my advice: stick with it. And I don't think you get a better trainer than Dean if you're going to be looking around. Certainly everyone's got a choice, but yeah, my choice would be, and I would recommend Dean to anyone.
Awesome. Really appreciate that, Malcolm. Thanks very much, mate, and well done on all your hard work.
Right, okay, no worries. Thank you.
Thanks. And guys, if any of you are looking for some help, then you can reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. Just send me a message or go to the website, deanmcmenamin.co.uk, or email me at dean@deanmcmenamin.co.uk. Thanks for tuning in. And Malcolm, thanks again to you. Speak
You're
soon.
welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.